Good morning, everybody. Dave Stevens coming to you without his microphone. So what did I just do with that? Oh, we're already out of the gate.
Dave.
Oh, how about that? All right. Here we go. We always start out our day doing the stupid thing. But good morning, everybody. Dave Stevens here, live again from Radio Row. Let me take a look at what's going on here. Rob, my camera person, is popping around. It's slowly filling up with some of the bigger stars this morning. The last full day at Los Angeles Convention Center before the big game, of course, on Sunday and the big parties tonight. And I'm going to kick things off this morning with something that's pretty awesome. Now, I'm the only legless college football player in the history of the NCAA, but my guest who's joining me is the only blind player to ever play Division I football. And I covered his story. Shelley Smith kind of followed him from high school to his progression at USC. But it's awesome to have you, Jacob Olson, joining me, the former long snapper from the University of Southern California, the Trojans. So he's kind of here hanging out this week, kind of old home week for you to be around here and catch up with some former teammates that actually ended up in the NFL. But that doesn't take away from your amazing career, Jacob. And first, thanks for joining me here.
Thank you, man, for having me. Yeah, absolutely.
It's really, really cool. And I'm not just saying that to blow smoke, but Jacob, just tell us a little bit about your story, how it developed, and what made you want to decide that I'm going to play football at a higher level than anybody's ever done, despite not being able to see.
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, I was born and raised here in Southern California. So it took a long drive in traffic to get here this morning.
You were driving?
Yeah. No one's gonna be able to tell in Los Angeles.
Just like the other drivers, yeah.
Exactly. But was born with retinoblastoma at the age of 8 months old. That I was diagnosed with that cancer in my retinas, and after 12 years of battling that, eventually had taken both my eyes. So that left me completely blind at the age of 12. And really from there, it was just a decision to make in life of, hey, am I going to let blindness rob me of the things I love, rob me of doing the things that I really want to do in life? One of those things was enjoying the game of football. Again, growing up in Southern California, loved USC, loved football in general, and really want to make sure I could continue to at least be part of the game in some regard. And halfway through high school, I kind of remembered that promise I made to myself, and I said, hey, I haven't played my freshman and sophomore year of high school, and this is something I'm going to look back on and regret. So I figured, hey, let's find a way for me just to either be on the sideline or work with the team somehow, maybe find a position that I could participate in and contribute in. I knew I wasn't going to be the star receiver or anything, but is there something out there? And we came upon long snapping and said, hey, this is a position where you get lined up, man. It's the same snap over and over and over and over again.
And just block.
And block, yep. So that's how we kind of came with the long snapping position and worked my tail off, going to my junior year of high school, and ended up coming to fall camp, was the best long snapper on the team, earned my spot in varsity, and played 2 years of varsity, and then it was time to go to USC, and was offered a walk-on position.
What was it like to walk out onto that field, again, with your sensories? I'm sure when you walked out in that stadium, you're smelling the grass differently. You're feeling things differently. I mean, what was that like, that first college practice where you're just out there as an athlete and not somebody that they look at as labeling us as a disability?
Right. No, and that was the coolest part, because I'd been to many USC practices, obviously, as a 12-year-old, and then, throughout the years. But to be out there wearing that uniform, wearing those pads and the helmet, and again, to be around the teammates that were just curious of how you played ball. And that was really the only thing. And it was really cool just to go out there with them for the very first time and say, hey, this is how I snap. So, taking the holders, hey, this is how you line up my hips. And then let's knock off a few snaps here. And it did not take them more than one practice to say, okay, we got this down. We're going to learn how to do this, but we're treating Jake no different. He can snap the ball as well as the rest of them. And
what was that motion and feeling like at that first game where you got the call saying, Jake, get out there and snap this thing and don't throw it over his head? Like, I mean, were you so nervous and I'm thinking, this is it. This is my big moment.
Well, there was part of that for sure. But it was so drowned out by happiness and joy. I worked my tail off to get there. And to be honest with you, obviously I wanted to do well, and I thought I would do well, and I put in all the practice to do well. But if something went awry, I wasn't going to let that ruin the fact that of all the hard work I did to get there. Fortunately, it didn't come to that, but it was just so happy to be out there. I mean, it was everyone in that stadium was just so overjoyed. I mean, I cannot even express the bliss in the air. It was that electric.
Absolutely. Look, dude, I know where I've been the same way. And Jacob Olson joining me. If you don't know his story, the only NCAA player without sight.
Yep.
And just so amazing. And that led to kind of what you're doing here and what we wanted to talk about with letsengage.com. Like, talk about what you're doing to change lives now.
Absolutely. Well, I was very blessed after losing my eyesight at the age of 12 to tell my story after ESPN covered it the very first time. So I've been speaking since the age of 12. And when I went to college, we got actually a waiver from the NCAA that I could continue to share my story so long as, I didn't use my, being an athlete as an advantage or, to crank up the prices or whatever. So
you didn't rub that jet plane in your teammate's face,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. But because of that, I found my manager, Daniel, who is my random freshman suite mate, very serendipitously, but he was with me throughout college. And then at the end of college, we kind of decided, hey, we're going to need to kind of revamp this industry because it is so antiquated. People are not looking out for each other. Let's create a digital platform. Use what we went to school for, which is business. We both graduated in business at SC, to create this digital platform that really helps digitize the process of booking talent. So we've been able to do that over the last 3 years. Obviously, there's been some bumps in the road with COVID and whatnot, but we've really been able to push forward. And now with this NIL stuff going on, it's really, really cool to kind of take what we really experienced in college before anyone else did and apply it to now these guys who are going through the same thing.
Hey, I'm quite talented and my phone hasn't been ringing, so I better sign up for you guys, right?
Absolutely. No, honestly, man, we absolutely created it for people like us. So it's really, really cool.
Now, when you're putting these kind of inputs, because I know working with Ability Media and when we're building our website, you have to think about, hey, how can people who either are deaf or blind or whatever, how can they engage in our website that GoDaddy or these other entities don't think about? So have you had to put some of that thought into the website and your business plan?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, it's trust me, it is something that's always on the forefront of my mind is having an accessible website, because that is the most frustrating thing especially when you're required to do something and you go to the website and it's just not even allowing you to click on things or access it. Oh my gosh. But so yes, while we developed this platform, it's completely, we built it. It is all proprietary. So we definitely kept that right in forefront of mind to make sure it's accessible.
Yeah, we've got to get these robots smarter, because my buddies from Pro Stance, our sponsors today, they're called Pro Stance, but when I try to call them, Siri calls them prostate. And I'm thinking, for those out there, they're not going to understand what that product is. So I don't want, yours will be, let's get engaged. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to get married. I'm not into any of that kind of thing. So so when they go to the website, what are they going to find, and how's this going to change things for them?
Yeah, so really it's for, corporations and event planners and bookers who are looking to bring in, a speaker or some type of event, talent for an event. But also what's really cool is we've also hit just the normal consumer of providing more than just speaking experiences. So, depending on the talent, you can look kind of what classic or kind of unique experiences they may offer. But more than that, we've also given talent on the platform an ability to kind of play offense a little bit and do their own sweepstakes and do their own kind of cool pop-up events if they want to. So always keeping an eye on going to the website and keeping an eye on what kind of sweepstakes we're running, or what kind of pop events are coming up. That's been really kind of cool for just, again, your average fan or your average consumer to come on and do that.
Jake is here with me. Jake Olson, former USC long snapper. And again, that doesn't say blind long snapper. It is a long snapper. It is something to be proud of, because as you talked about being normal, this is your normal. My not having legs is my normal, and society judges us, and people might see you with your dog and blind and just look at you and go, I feel sorry for you, Jake. But they don't know your journey, the amazing journey that you've had. So when you're talking, what is your message now that you like to tell people coming from what you've done, that, you and I have done things that people will never do again?
Well, absolutely. To give you the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
Really,
I don't want to have to pay you. I don't have that $5,000 there.
Really, kind of the overall message is that, hey, look, we're all going to face adversity. We're all going to face setbacks. Now, if you choose to see it that way, choose these setbacks as permanent, that it made up your mind that's going to stop you. Like, and if I made the mindset up that blindness was going to rob me of playing football or enjoying the sports that I love, then that's exactly what was going to happen.
Well,
and would have happened.
It's amazing. Your story is just just wonderful. It's a pleasure to meet you. A cool dude behind you, another historic legend of football, Rick Neuheisel, Coach Rick Neuheisel,
There you go.
a man of his word. We saw him on the street, and he goes, "I'll come over to you and talk to you." So he's about to join me. But
all right, well, from a Trojan to a Bruin, make
yeah,
sure you switch up the narrative here a little bit. All right?
He's not flipping you off behind you, so he's showing a lot of respect. But Jake Olson, personally, where can they follow you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that good stuff?
At Jake Olson 61.
All right. Jake Olson, continuing to change lives and inspiring. And if you haven't seen his story, just Google it. It is an amazing thing, and I was so proud to be a part of it at ESPN. And thanks for sneaking up.
Thank
and
you for having me.
Jake walked by and he said, "Hey, is that guy got no legs?"
I say, yeah.
Right? Didn't you say that?
Yeah, I looked at you cockeyed, didn't I?
Yeah. You're like the Stevie Wonder thing where they say Stevie's been faking it the whole time. But,
well, hey, let's not start those conspiracy theories over the radio now. You know.
Who's your pick, real quick? You going with the home team and your blood, or
no? I got to go with Cincinnati.
All right,
I got to go Cincinnati. I'm a big Burrow fan. So.
There you go. Underdogs all the way. That's what we are.
Yep.
Jake Olson joining me on Radio Row. Thank you so much, my friend. Take care and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Dave Stevens kicking things off. I got Rick Neuheisel joining me, man. This is going to be a fun day. Continue to watch us. Ability Media, changing lives. Disability Channel, also very impactful. Thank you.